We doing it big. We got a new setup for y'all. I'm back behind the camera. We got a new setup. I got a special guest in the building. Y'all already see what's going on. I ain't gonna say too much. I'm gonna let her tell y'all who she is.
What up, what up? Y'all already know who it is. It's the one and only Turk Easy. You know, shit. Well, as Lily say, my partner say Sheila now.
Yeah.
You know, so, but hey, Turk's still in there. Turk come out sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Sheila come out sometimes. So it is what it is, you know. I'm me.
What's the difference between Turk and Sheila?
See, right now it's Turk and Sheila.
Okay, okay.
Right now it's Turk and Sheila because it's early in the morning. I'm laid back and got my hair in. Still got on my stud clothes.
Yeah.
You know I'm keeping me a fair pair.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but I mean, pretty much the difference is that I think I'm more so Sheila than I am Turk.
But what's the difference between Sheila and Turk? Is Sheila more feminine? Is Turk more feminine? Is it the attitude?
To be honest, Turk and Sheila is the same person. It's just sometimes Turk bring more of the dominant side out of me, and Sheila is more girly, submissive. You know what I'm saying? But overall, they both clash because Turk have always been feminine.
Okay.
I just wore the clothes and portrayed the part like I was supposed to do, you know, because it's a label that the LGBTQ, MON, whatever. I'm just being honest. I'm just saying that's the label that they put on me because of the way I dress. But within me, I was always a feminine stud.
Okay. So let me ask you, if you didn't have to have the label, if not a stud, what would you consider yourself?
Me?
Yeah.
Me? I don't consider myself as nothing. I don't consider myself as a feminine person. I don't consider myself as a stud person. I'm me. Like,
so would you say that's like a no label?
Yeah, I don't like, as I got older, I don't like that label. Because when you put a label on something, it's like you have to be that, whatever they label you as.
Right.
You know, just like I'm going to go back in the beginning. When I moved up here in 98 from Louisiana. We're going to take it back to the 99 and 2000.
Yeah.
So when I moved up here from Louisiana in 98, you know, I was still trying to figure myself out because I have always been a tomboy. And in Louisiana, you have a lot of tomboys that actually, you know, dress like girl. You have a lot of girls that dress like boys, but yet we still had boyfriends.
Okay.
And our boyfriends then, you know, they liked that shit. It wasn't no, you know, like my girl gonna whoop your ass, my nigga. You know, you ain't gonna, you know, type shit. But so when I moved up here, I was still like getting my hair done, getting my nails done, but I was dressing boyish. So when I got to school, I actually came to high school up here. When I got to school, everybody thought I was the word dyke. That, yo, you a dyke? I'm like, hell no, bitch, I ain't gay. Hell no, I don't like no motherfucking girls, you know. So I was that person, and it was like the way I dressed, they kept labeling me. They go back to the label. They kept labeling me as being gay. And I'm like, I'm not gay. You know, it's just the way I like to dress. What is wrong with me dressing like a dude and still, at that time, liking guys, and you not labeling me as gay?
Right.
Basically. You know, then of course started playing basketball in high school. All the niggas said the whole basketball team was gay. Like, because it was a lot of us that played basketball that was tomboys, that dressed like boys, but we still had boyfriends. But they labeled it as the whole basketball team was gay because we dressed like dudes. But really at that time, I don't really know, because I really didn't know a lot of people. I don't think that a lot of people that played basketball at Eastern Hills was gay at that time in 98, 99 or whatever.
So
well 99 I'm gonna say.
So since they was already calling or labeling you a dyke or whatever, was it like easy to just, because you wasn't even gay, so what was that dynamic like? Like, when did you say? I am the dyke. Fuck it.
I know. I was like, bitch, I'm not gay. So you can say what the fuck you want to say. And that nothing like that ever bothered me. Because when I was younger, I've been called big-eyed, big lip, black, bald head. And all. So my skin was thick. So when somebody say something to me, it didn't bother me if I knew that wasn't me. You know, it didn't bother me. Some people it did. It bothered them like to the core. That they knew that they wasn't gay. And people labeling them as gay because they dress like a boy, they playing basketball, whatever, woo woo woo, or whatever. But it never bothered me. I didn't give a fuck.
Okay.
But when I came back that 2010 grade year, I got to hang around. Shout out to my nigga Genuine.
Okay.
I got to hang around my nigga Genuine, and that nigga was like, "Bitch, what are you?
Yeah.
Are you a female? Are you a stud? Are you gay? Are you straight?" And I was just like, what are you talking about? I'm me, you know. So at that time, it was basically like you had to pick a side. I looked up to that nigga to the T. Like, okay, I like the way that nigga dress. Okay, that nigga got some badass hoes on. Oh, okay, she kind of fine. I have always liked the girls, but I just never like went to that side to, you know, be in a relationship with one. Oh my bad. I never went to that side to, you know, fool around with one or whatever. But I always thought females was pretty or whatever. And I was like, okay, this nigga got some, you know, some fucking with some bad bitches.
So what was your first experience? Like was it Genuine homegirl?
We gotta talk about that.
Or was it Genuine?
No, it was no. It was not. It was not Genuine. So me and Genuine's youngest sister, we were around the same age.
Okay.
We was friends because of a mutual friend. So when I was hanging around her sister, I had seen Genuine. I'm gonna tell the truth. I had seen Genuine. I was like, oh, he cute. And then the homegirl was like, that's a girl. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
This was way before I knew Genuine because I hung around her sister or whatever. So I met Genuine as two people. I met Genuine as Erica. The girl used to tell me all the time. She said, oh my God, you remind me of my ex named Erica. And I'm like, I don't know who that is. And then when I started school, everybody actually thought I was Genuine. And I was like, I don't know no motherfucking dykes. So, I'm new here, so I'm just telling them, like, I don't know no fucking dyke. I was like, oh, I thought you was this dyke girl named Genuine and shit like that. And then I started working at Walmart. Then it goes back when the girl was telling me that I remind her of her ex name, Erica. But I didn't know that Erica and Genuine was the same person. So then it goes back to when I started hanging around her sister, Genuine's sister, or whatever. And then when I met her, I actually physically seen her. I said, oh, so that's the girl that they was talking about, who, you know, I look like. So from then, me and Genuine started clicking with each other, like hanging around each other. So, you know, I got, you know, she like, hey, holla at them, I'm trying to get on at Walmart, woo, woo, woo. So I ended up getting her on, you know, working. So we working at Walmart, then we went to her house one day. She's sleeping at the top of the bed, I'm sleeping at the foot of the bed, and I'm like, I'm not like fully gay, but I already think that she was cute. I'm just being honest. So I was like, oh Lord, please don't let this girl try to come get my booty, because if she do, I'm just gonna give it to her. But that never happened because it was it was like, she wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying? She was not like that. I said, oh Lord, this girl try to come get my booty, I'm sure gonna let her. I promise. So, but that never, because I known her as Erica, and then I met her as Genuine. So that goes back to when I was working at Walmart. When you said my first experience, I'm gonna go back to when I was working at Walmart. I was maybe like 16, and the female was fine, and the motherfucker, I think she was maybe like 23. And I'm sitting up here shooting. She like, yeah, I done fuck, bitch. I ain't knowing I ain't never fuck with no girl in my life. Knowing I ain't never fuck with no girl in my life. So, you know, nigga break bread on, you know, I'm working at Walmart, 16, you know, I ain't got no bills to pay. So, I'm breaking bread on the girl, whatever, because she was fine in the motherfucker. So, we had ended up going home one day on lunch. And that was the most nastiest shit. The first time, it was like me giving somebody head. And she knew then because she was experienced. You know what I'm saying? She knew, like, bitch, you ain't never fuck with no hoe before. Cause first of all, I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, this is so nasty. It's so slimy. Like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest. I was like, what the fuck? You know? So, flip the script. She ended up giving me head. And I was like, bitch, I couldn't even go back to work. I had to call them motherfucker, tell them I had food poisoning. Because my mama worked there Walmart too, so I had to call her. Was like, Mama, I don't think I'm. She was like, what's wrong? I was like, man, I think I had went home, you know, went on lunch and I ate something and I don't feel good. I didn't feel good because I ate something and I didn't feel good. So I was like, you know, just let them know that I'm not gonna come back to work. So their first experience was like, nah.
It wasn't it.
It wasn't. I mean, it wasn't that. It was nothing wrong with her. It was just. My experience was like, no, this is some nasty, slimy, wet shit. But now I'm like, you know, you want that shit. Yeah. You know, that's what you want. But I couldn't go back to work. So we, you know, we built a bond as like in the gay world, father and son type shit. She took me under her wing and was like, nigga, like, you can't, you know. I guess at that time it was so like it was a critical time for people to be a certain way. But she didn't care that how I was, but it was like, nigga, you got to look like a nigga, cause you that feminine shit, yeah, it's in there, but you more of a nigga, you know. So that's when I came back to school, my 10th grade year. Nigga had a motherfucking bald fade. Nigga had starchy Archie with the Stay Flow jeans. Motherfuckers stand up by theyself. And everybody was like, what the fuck? You know, like, this nigga done came back straight nigga. So all the niggas like, that's why she ain't never want to get nobody no pussy. Because I said she was gay. Yeah. You know, but at that time, my 9th grade year, I wasn't. I was just like, I didn't want to talk to nobody. I didn't know nobody. I ain't know who you, I ain't know nothing about nobody. So when I came back my 10th grade year in school, I came back straight stud. And it was on from there. I ain't give a fuck. Yeah, nigga, I fuck with bitches. Yeah. You know, shit, it is what it is. Nigga, I take your bitch type shit, you know? So, I mean, that's what that was. And then I got to the point to where, shit, I was sneaking in the old brick where Romaldo and Betty Neal had that motherfucker. I was sneaking in that motherfucker. So I liked it, that lifestyle. Nigga, I stopped going to school. I was like, fuck it. I get to school on lunch, call Gene Wine on the payphone, because we didn't have no cell phones back then. I called Gene Wine on payphone, bro, can you come get me? That nigga be like, hell no, nigga, you staying in school. And I'm like, fuck, what I'm going to do now? Because I done been on first, second, and third lunch. I can't go back to class. So I started walking home or some shit. That nigga would not, that's one thing I can actually say about Gene Wine. Like, when I was in school, that nigga would not come pick me up from school. No, nigga, you going to stay at school. Okay, if you don't want to come get me, bitch, I'm just going to start walking to the house or some shit. Go somewhere else or sneak in the trunk of somebody else's motherfucking car or senior that's leaving and tell them to take me, because you know motherfuckers be looking inside the car and shit, security and shit. So bitch, put me in the trunk. And then when they come to the trunk, I'm sliding, pushing the thing down, sliding to the front of the car and shit. They be like, okay, you good, you can go.
So was the first gay club you went to the Brick?
Yeah, that was the first gay club I went to, was the Brick.
What was your first experience like?
Nigga, I went in that hole. It was just so, it was just like, wow. And I had seen, the first drag queen that I have ever seen was Jody Malone. And I thought that motherfucker was so I was infatuated with that motherfucker. I ain't even gonna lie. Jody Malone, I was infatuated with Jody Malone. And Gene was like, boy, that's a girl. I'm like, what? That's a woman? Well, not a woman, but a woman, man. And I didn't give a fuck, because the way she did shows, it just was like, it had you 10 and 2, like your eyes is locked. Well, when they did shows back then, anybody that did shows back then, it was just the best shows ever back then in 2000, 99, 2000. Them was just the best shows ever at the old Brick. And I was just so infatuated with her, but the experience was like, that was the times to be in the motherfucking gay club. If you weren't in the gay club back then, you ain't lived life being gay. I'm sorry. You haven't lived life of being gay if you weren't at the club. And you had to be 21 to get in Envy. I used to sneak in that motherfucker. I tell Genuine to motherfucking go. She go in first, and then I had, cause we kind of we looked alike a little bit. So she'll have somebody else come outside. I get wait about an hour. Get her ID, go in, and motherfucker talking about, this ain't you. Yeah, it is, nigga, when your birthday? Nigga, 315, whatever her birthday. I knew her birthday damn, 3/19/80. I knew it damn pay. I'm like, what is you talking about? They were like, okay, go in, you know. Knowing I wasn't supposed to be getting no motherfucking envy. I think I was maybe 17 or something like that. You had to be 21 and up to get an envy back in the day. But I used to go to Envy was the shit. Envy was the shit.
What was your favorite moment at Envy?
I can't think of the I used to love the two promoters. They was girlfriends at Envy, and Deanna, and I can't think of their names, but Envy was just so grown. It was like, it wasn't like the brick was the hood shit.
Yeah.
Envy was like the grown, and you know, like everybody in here, you know. But at the brick, you already knew some shit was gonna pop off in that motherfucker. And then back then, you couldn't go live, so if you wasn't there, bitch, you just missed it. You had to hear about it. You had to hear about it. But at Envy, it was more of a grown and, you know, sexy setting or whatever. And it was just like, I experienced a lot of shit. That's like now when I go out, I don't even want to go out because, nigga, I've been clubbing since I was 16. I'm about to be 43.
Facts.
So it's like, it's the atmosphere and the way a lot of people do shows. You still have some people out there that do good shows, don't get me wrong. But a lot of ways people do shows, it's like I don't want to see no shows.
So who, besides Jody Malone, who would you say had the best shows back then?
Ruby Scott. Ruby Scott, I was in love with Ruby Scott. I was. And I knew she was a woman.
Yeah.
It was Ruby Scott and who else? Bowlegs weren't really doing shows back then. Me and Bowlegs used to be on the dance floor popping our ass all night. Bowlegs weren't really doing shows like that I can remember. I just remember Bowlegs being in the crowd. Shit, we on the motherfucking box at the brick. It was like a mirror when you come down the stairs, and then it was a big ass motherfucking box like this high. Me and Bowlegs on top of this box dancing like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
So what was the other, it was another drag, I can't think of her name, Silky. Okay. Silky motherfucking ass. That motherfucker, it had my mind so fucked up because I'm like, this look like a fucking woman. Like, a woman for real. Silky used to do some good ass shows. And, at that time, I don't think it was like how you have a lot of stud entertainers. Back then, it wasn't a lot of stud entertainers that was like doing like stud shows like that. It was more of the, you know, the nice looking drags doing the shows, and you just confused because you don't know if it's a fucking woman or a girl. But I didn't give a fuck because she was still pretty to me. Like, I'm gonna give you your props when props is due.
For sure.
And then I remember Monique started coming to the club with what is her name? I can't even think of her name.
Lifeline.
Bitch. The light skinned chick. She had the brick at one point. I mean, she had the Metro.
Champagne,
yeah. But yeah, Champagne, when she had brought...
You said Lifeline.
Yeah. When Champagne had brought Monique, it was like, who the fuck is this? You know, like...
She got everybody one.
Yeah, she got...
Between her, Barry...
She got my whole Walmart cheek.
Barry got everybody one.
And then it was like, after that, it started, you know, like Lily saying...
Oh my God, put my name...
Well, it don't matter. It was like the berries and the diamond and all them started coming in, and you was just like, okay, yeah, bring the females.
So who was the hardest one out of all of them?
Monique with the paw prints coming up on motherfucking thighs. Monique.
Hold on.
And not just saying that because Monique is my friend, but to me, it was Monique. And Barry too. It was Barry too. It was Barry too. And Brown Sugar.
Oh.
Brown Sugar. That motherfucker had some sexy ass legs, the motherfucking bow legs. That's what got me with brown sugar. Brown sugar.
Yeah, she got all my women.
And chocolate tie, Miss Tiffany. All the old, like older, them.
They need to do it again. Do a repeat.
Yeah, man, them was the times. I'm telling y'all right now. I'm telling y'all right now. Back then, 2000, early 2000s, when the old brick and the motherfucking Metro, Amity Pearl, I think, was it Amity Pearl back then? It was Amity Pearl back then. So the old Amity Pearl, man, that was the best time to be at the club. There was only two clubs that was just jumping like a motherfucker. Do you understand me? I was going to the club every fucking weekend. I was not finna miss. No, I'm not gonna miss, bitch.
Everybody got fit.
I'm calling in to work, bitch. Okay. I'm not coming in. No, I'm going to the club.
For sure.
And bitch, if I gotta be at work in the morning, I'm just gonna come to work drunk in the motherfucker, straight from the motherfucking club, and not give a fuck, because I was not missing the club. Because if you missed it, you didn't want to hear about it, nigga. You had to be there. It's nothing like. It was nothing like how now everybody go live, take pictures, and nigga, you couldn't do that shit. Back then, you gotta hear about everybody talking about, oh, bitch, such and such, and got slapped in the middle of their show and shit, and you're like, bitch, damn, I missed it.
You remember, was that a real?
Yeah, that really happened.
Who got slapped in the middle of their show?
I'm not saying. I'm not saying. But for everybody that know, it was at the Metro. They got slapped in the middle of their show. And then Vonda said, come take this trash out. Told the security, come take out the trash. So for y'all that know, that was there, y'all know, y'all can come in the comments and say who it was, but I'm not saying that. Ain't none of my business.
No. You good? I
know.
I didn't remember. I'm just trying to see, like, you already remember.
It was at Amity Pearl when Vonda had it. Yeah, it was like you had to be there. Like, you don't wanna. It's like it's nothing like it was a couple of times. Now when Vonda, we gonna go to the Metro when Vonda had that motherfucker.
Okay.
I ain't been to Nan Club yet, where you got to wait outside and it's the line wrapped around the motherfucking building. You gonna sit there and wait till somebody, about 4 or 5 people walk out of there so you can get in that motherfucker.
Facts.
Cause we was at capacity every fucking Saturday.
Facts.
Every Saturday it was at capacity. Hell, I was on the fucking stud team and had to wait in line some goddamn times, and I was pissed off because I got there late and shit. And Vonda, like, I ain't nothing I can do. I'm like, I gotta do a show.
Tell me about the stud team.
So the stud team was created because Vonda, of course, she had Soul for Saturdays at first, and it was mainly like the cast of Peaches, Ruby, Tab.
The one that moved.
It's Tab, the one that moved to Las Vegas, the comedian Tab.
Okay.
I think it was one in Nikki. Nikki. Is that her name? Your Diary. No, it was Your Diary. Yeah, that's her name. But I think her real name Nikki. Yeah. But it was Your Diary, and I can't really think of everybody else because I really wasn't at that time when they had Soul for Saturdays. I really wasn't going to the club then, I'm saying, a lot. So I can remember one Saturday going in there and, I'm like, okay, this is a little nice little vibe. So I think it was one other club that was popping that everybody was going to. Was it the Globe? What was that club called? Copa. Everybody was going to Copa, and I think something happened with that, so it started dying down or something like this. So everybody migrated to start, like, little by little start going to Soul for Saturdays. So Soul for Saturdays, it started turning into more of a bigger thing when it was like the crowd got big or whatever. And I was like, shit, this nice, I like this. So she created the stud team to have, she already had her Soul for Saturday team. So she got some studs together and said, hey, we're gonna do shows and we're gonna do this shit big or whatever. And oh yeah, there go a picture.
Bam.
Yeah, they go a picture of the original. This the original Soul for Sad. I mean the Stud Team cast. That's the original Stud Team.
Okay.
So she created the Stud Team, and it was a few of us. And when we did a motherfucking show,
Cause we had like A and B team, but we had to rotate.
oh yeah, we had the A and B, and we had to rotate doing shows and stuff like that. And when I tell you, when you had to be on motherfucking point, you represent Vonda, you gonna be on point. We had to go practices on Wednesday. And
Even though we was part of the
even if we was part of the cast, even if you was part of the fucking cast, you still had to come to tryouts. And if you get up there bubblegumming,
she gonna say no.
She gonna tell your ass no Wednesday, and she gonna say she'll maybe give you a chance, you know, if you know your word. But if you get on that motherfucking stage on Saturday and get the bubblegum and don't know your word or had too many pussy punches and too many Bud Ices and too many shots, she gonna cut your ass in the middle of your show, because she done cut me plenty of times. And I was like, I just threw my hands up. I fuck it. I'm
and look, I done got cut before.
Yeah,
I was like,
and I was part of the case. She would cut your ass like it ain't nothing.
I was fucked up.
And then get on the mic and embarrass your ass because you done got up there and embarrassed
this
her.
nigga done got up here and got fucked up. I was like,
Yeah. She cause you done got your ass on stage and embarrassed her because you are part of her team and you know better. You
Right.
know motherfucking better.
Right.
So she would get up there and say, "What the fuck? You know better than that shit."
you came on Wednesday.
You
and
came
was
you came on
But you
Wednesday
came
fight.
today drunk.
Bitch, that pussy punch got a hold to you. You know that pussy punch wasn't no pump.
So was the Stud Team, and then it was T12. Are those two different groups?
Yeah.
It's two different groups, but mainly because when the Stud Team kind of everybody started going their own way and started venturing out, like I don't even know what the fuck happened or whatever. To be honest, I'm just gonna be honest. I don't know why everything it was, and then there was a lot of stuff I think going on within the club itself with the owners and stuff like that.
Okay.
So it started dying down. So we had to come up with something because all of us still was. Most of us still was, you know, was a group, and we had to come up with some fucking name. And I'm sitting trying to think of a name for the group, so we writing shit down, jotting shit down, and I'm just looking, and I'm like, okay, when we get on the stage, we light that motherfucker up. We set that bitch on fire. We set that bitch on fire. So I'm looking like through Google and shit.
Yeah.
So I seen T12, which is weapons of mass destruction. So when we come on stage, we destroy every motherfucking thing, and we did that. So I came up with, I said, fuck it, we're gonna be T12 explosive. So that's how T12 originated, and it was a lot of people that wanted to, you know, come on that was already originally on the Stud Team that, you know, stayed, and it was like, you had so many people coming and leaving, and people ain't getting along with motherfuckers and shit like that. And I got along with everybody, so I'm the middleman.
Yeah.
I really never had a problem with
Mama
nobody.
bear.
And if I did, it's because they had a problem with somebody that I was hanging around. So of course, guilty by association, bitch, I got a problem with you. So, but I was the type of person, I never gave a damn about what nobody thought or liked about me, cause I mean, I'm me. I'm in control of me. I'm in control of my life, not you. So I didn't give a fuck, bitch. Bitch, I don't care. I tell you, bitch, I don't care.
So the members that were not a part of Stud Team, how did you choose? Because I know you made the decision. Everybody just couldn't be T12 just because you wanted to. So how did you decipher who was worthy and who?
Well, pretty much everybody that was in T12, we was already cool any fucking way, and they did shows, and you know, I knew that they was gonna get on that motherfucking and light it up. So it was a lot of discrepancies. Like, bitch, no, you can't do it because the last time you did a show, bitch, you didn't know your words. So no, you know.
So you turned into Vonda.
Yeah, basically. But it was actually a group decision too. So it wasn't just only me, and they were like, yeah, motherfucker, you fucked up the last time, you know.
Dallas Unleashed did an interview with Chris D,
Mm-hmm.
and Nympho was saying that she feel like that we kind of lost a little bit of our, you know, nightlife culture because the OGs kind of pulled out. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I can't speak on nobody else. I can speak on myself because I started pulling away from the scene. Like, it was a little bit before I even decided to have kids that I was kind of like, I'm almost 30, you know, like whatever, you know, it is what it is. I'm still gonna go out, I'm still gonna chill. But I started pulling away from doing a lot of things that I was doing. So I had my first son when I was 30.
Okay.
So that pretty much, when I had kids, motherfuckers didn't really see me on the scene a lot.
You came up under Vonda, y'all had the stud team, it was tryouts and she was on you. You had to know your words,
Yeah.
you wanted everybody to be on point.
Yeah.
And then when you started T12, you kind of adapted those same, you know what I'm saying, kind of expectations for
Yeah.
your crew.
Yeah.
So do you feel like that, because I'm sure you probably knew you were learning from Vonda, but you know how you be around from somebody, you pick up something, you
Yeah.
don't even know you picked it up.
Exactly.
Do you think that if y'all maybe would have stepped in a little bit more, the Dallas nightlife, we might not have would have had like that dry spell we had once Big Yo and KK weren't involved?
Yeah, I actually do feel like that, because it was like at one point it was like, well, where you gonna go? Where we gonna go? And everybody was just like picking venues, and it was just a venue for that night or whatever. And it's like it started dying down when it wasn't nowhere actually established to go. It was like, okay, somebody throwing a party at this venue or whatever, and we gonna go out. But then you like, well, what we gonna do next week? Because next week they might not even have it.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is everybody's so divided, and I don't like this person. Why? For what?
Well, y'all can make
When y'all it's a lot of money in the Dallas Fort Worth area for even getting with the white promoters and having something with the you know, the white side. Like, people don't want to do that because it's like they all money hungry. It's a lot of people is about they want their own stuff.
You feel like that the reason for the divide is because they're all focused on the dollar.
Yeah. Pretty much. I'm saying, yeah. And it's not coming together. And then, like, now people trying to come together, and it's too late for that, because everybody already have their views and their expectations. I mean, you know, their views of people. I ain't gonna say expectations. I'm just say everybody now have their views of different people, and if my homie don't fuck with you, I ain't fucking with you. It wasn't nothing like that back in the day, because back in the day, when you went to one spot, they promoting for the other nights. If we go to the Brick, back in the day, the Brick is promoting for what's ever going on Saturday and whatever was going on Sunday. They promoting for different nights that it was something, you know, going on. So it was, in all of them back then was together with everything. So and I believe that's why back in the day when Envy, I really didn't go to Tracks. I think I was young. I heard about, I think it was it called Tracks? I think I heard about Tracks and the Brick and stuff like that. So I believe that's why it was so successful, because all the promoters back then, they was promoting each other, and they was supporting each other. Not only promoting, but supporting each other. So, and they was doing different stuff outside the club and stuff like that.
What made you comfortable enough with Vonda to like even let her, or even Genuine? Like, what made you comfortable with those people to let them take you up under their wing, and you feel comfortable enough to follow them?
I go by, I'm a Virgo, first of all. And I'm a reader, whatever. Anyway, I'm a Virgo. Y'all know
Gemini,
Virgo.
baby.
Y'all know Virgo. Y'all love us Virgos. But I'm a Virgo, and I'm a reader, and I'm all about your whole aura around you. And if I feel other people can have their own opinion about you. I don't go about like, because somebody said this, or oh, this person did this to me. I'm still gonna give you a chance because you haven't did it to me. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what somebody else is saying, okay, that's your opinion. Everybody have an opinion. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to knock you for having an opinion, or knocking you for feeling like this towards somebody because of how you feel, what they done to you. But with Genuine, her whole aura around her was loving. It was like a big sister. And the same thing with Vonda with me. And I respected that. It's all about respect, and I respected that, you know. So that's why I was okay and comfortable with, you know, being under them. Baby, I would tell me, bitch, I got Vonda gonna be mad at me.
Okay.
I'm gonna get in trouble.
Okay.
I'm gonna get in trouble. I gotta go to the club.
She still do that to me. She called me the other day.
I have to tell some girl,
Baby,
back in the day, bitch, I'm gonna get in trouble.
Okay.
No, I'm not gonna get in no fucking trouble. But that's how cause of the respect thing.
Right,
Because of the respect thing for her, I just felt like I was gonna get in trouble, bitch. But I mean, it wasn't nothing like that. That's just the way I felt.
Let's talk a little bit about your childhood and your family dynamic. You got siblings?
Yeah, I have 2 sisters and a brother.
What was your family dynamic like?
Baby, we so close. Everybody want to be in our family. We got honorary cousins. Like, I'm dead ass serious. My family is, like, we came from, like I say, Louisiana.
Open.
Arkansas. We're very open. We're very loving. We're very accepting of everybody. So, even when people come, my friends come around, bitch, I'm cousin too. I'm cousin. Like my best friend, Jazz, my bitch, I'm cousin.
Bitch,
You've been there for, I'm just saying now.
Oh, okay.
Who I hang around. I still hang around you now. Stop starting shit. Stop being messy. That be so messy. Anyway. But yeah, like my homegirl Jazz, she be like, bitch, I'm an honorary cousin. So it's like when people get around my family, they feel so comfortable, and my family is so like they not know who the fuck is that or whatever. You know, being around my uncles, my aunties, and like all my friends call my aunts, especially my one auntie Aunt Lala. Everybody call her Aunt Lala. Everybody ain't.
What's your favorite childhood memory?
Man, I ain't got no favorite. My childhood was the bomb. I think our parents didn't give a fuck about us back then when we was little. Cause these motherfuckers are sitting us outside all day. At the end of the day, don't know if we ate nothing. Don't know if we had no water to drink. Long as you bring your ass back in that house before the street lights come on, they don't know if we were dead or alive because you ain't had no phone to call. They weren't worried about shit. They didn't give a fuck about us. I don't give a fuck. Back growing up in the 80s, in the early 90s, your parents didn't give a fuck about you. I'm just letting you know. Because they threw your ass outside all day. And you was outside, I promise you. I promise you. I would literally go outside at 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning, go walk up the street to my friend's house, and be gone before until them street lights, them lights get to flickering. I'm sprinting to the motherfucking house. So I'm like, then you get in the house, they ain't asked did you ate or nothing. Because at the end of the day, they knew how they raised us, and they knew they raised us as survivors.
Do you have any stories or times where you had any run-ins with the police?
Lily so messy. Anyway, I'm gonna speak on that. Yeah, I was young and you know I did some shit. You know, hit Foley's ass up. That's why they not open now. I told Foley's ass up. I told their ass up. I don't steal from people, but I did steal from department stores. I did, and I wouldn't even consider it stealing because what I did was I went in there and found shit that didn't have no sensors on it and took it back to the register and got a gift card. So that's not really stealing because I didn't walk out the store with no merchandise. But anyway,
no.
So I had ended up, you know, catching a little case behind this shit, getting caught or whatever, getting caught behind this shit. So it was one day we was coming from the club and
you better tell the truth.
Girl, go sit down and let me talk. I can't even talk. You know I got ADHD and you distracted me. So we was coming from the club. We was dropping somebody off at work. I mean at home, and the police had ended up pulling us over. This motherfucker driving, Lily. So the police ended up pulling us over, and the motherfucker say you don't got your ID. I said, okay, I'm gonna say I don't got my ID. So they came around to her door. They pulled her ass out the car. She had warrants. So they came around to my door and said, you got your ID? I said, here you go. I was young. I was like 17. I was like 19, probably 18, 19 years old. I didn't give a fuck, bitch. I was scared. So I gave them my ID. Bitch, come find out I had a warrant because I didn't go back to court. I had a KP's warrant because I didn't go to court. So I went to jail. And we sitting in jail or whatever. And then this my first time ever going to jail or whatever. So, and by being the KP's, it was no bond. So, didn't know nothing about none of that shit back then. So, we go in front of the judge and the motherfucker said I had to pay $1,500. No bond. To get out of jail. And I just fell to my knees.
She did like this in court. She said, I said, bitch, get up.
he told my bitch, get up. And the judge looking at me like, oh, she for real. You know, like, she for real. But they end up letting me out of jail because I think the judge felt sorry for me because he already know this baby ain't got no
I was sitting there kicking her. I said, bitch, if you don't get your
The judge knew I have never been in trouble. I didn't have nothing else on my record or nothing like that. So I think the nigga felt sorry for me, like, oh yeah, she probably gonna go insane in here and this not no place for her. And bitch, that was my first time that I have ever been to jail, and that was maybe in 2001, maybe two. No, it was probably like 2000, 2001, and I have never been back. I have never did anything to make me go back.
You were 30 when you decided to conceive your first son.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us, how did that come about? Like,
well, I gave myself time frames when I said, well, I'm gonna have kid when I was 18, and 18 came, and I was like, no, hell no, I don't want no kids. I take care of my cousins' kids, whoever else got kids. I don't want no kids. So I said 25. I gave myself 25. That's when Vonda had the club jumping. I would have been a selfish parent to bring a child into this world knowing that I was at the peak of my life of having fun, and my kids would have been dropped off to different people, this and that, and you know what I'm saying. And I said, nah. And I said, well, if I don't have no child by 30, I'm not having no kids. But I wanted kids because when I leave this earth, I want to have something of me left. So by the time I think I was maybe I was 30 when I actually like had him, but I was 30 still when I was 29 or whatever. So I talked with Tamika and see how she felt about it, but she already knew I always wanted kids or whatever. So I ended up asking, which was my best friend from Job Corps. Me and her been knowing each other since, you know, Job Corps days or whatever. I had asked, it was actually her sister, and we've been knowing each other since we was young, 16 years old. Cause I didn't know no niggas. Me personally, I never like hanging around dudes because I will, but sometimes they get a little disrespectful and I'm uncomfortable with that, you know. So I didn't know no dude. So I had ended up asking my best friend's sister and her boyfriend, husband at the time, do they mind being a sperm donor? And they daughter was my goddaughter at the time. So he was like, hell yeah, if anybody, I wouldn't do it for nobody but you because I know that you would be a good parent, you know. And I thanked them for that or whatever, for actually, you know, doing that in agreement, being in agreement, you know, with us with it. So he'll go in there and hump on her, shoot in the cup, and Tamika get it with a little, you know, little syringe that you get the medicine up with, and put it in me, bitch. I be in that motherfucker with my vibrator on my coochie. Yeah. And I told her, I said, well, because it's like you gotta have an orgasm so your cervix can open up, and then you can shoot the sperm in there, and that's how it goes in. Okay. So and I ain't got no sperm bank, bitch. I don't got no goddamn money like that. And at the time, I didn't have no good insurance, and I don't even think at the time they was doing IVF for insurance at that time when I had him. So no, I didn't, you know. But I said, well, hey, if it don't work the way that I want it to work, I'm just gonna have to give you some, and we gonna have to do it like that because that's what I wanted. But it didn't have to get to that part. And if it had, I would have did it with no problem. I would have gave the nigga some if it had to, because I wanted kids, and we talked about that. Look, nigga, you gonna jack off a little bit and just stick it in, you know, whatever type shit.
Oh my god.
So it didn't get to that point. So with Sir Darren, shit, it was maybe 2 tries because my family just fertile like that. It took maybe 2, I'm gonna say maybe 2 or 3 when I'm because you know when you ovulating or whatever. And it took maybe 2 or 3 times, and I was pregnant with Sir Darren, my oldest baby.
Okay. So at the time, how long had you and Tamika already been together?
Me and Tamika I had Sir Darren in 2012. Me and Tamika had been together since 2004.
Okay, so already 8 years you were already with your wife.
Yeah.
And then you decided to conceive. So the conversation was easy, smooth. How, like, was it like an hour conversation, 30 minutes?
What, as far as like what?
When you told Tamika,
No,
like, hey, this is what we're gonna do?
it wasn't no, like, she already knew that I wanted kids, so it was like, it's whatever you want, you know, basically. And she was in agreement with it. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, well, we need to talk about this and all. It wasn't nothing like that. It was just like, I want to have kids and I'm finna have a baby.
Okay.
And she was okay with that because she already had, I'm gonna say not she, because I look at her 2 girls as my kids, because when I met them, they was 8 and 11, and now they, I think, I don't want to be telling Tamika age, but I think the oldest is 32 now, and she's 31 or 32, and the youngest is maybe like 28, 29, somewhere around up in there. So that's how long I have, been in their life, since they was 8 and 11 years old. So I looked at them like they were my kids, but I wanted to experience of birthing a child, being pregnant, and being a mother. And she was okay with that.
How was it telling your friends and family?
Bitch, I'm pregnant!
Yeah.
I didn't give a fuck, bitch, I'm finna have a baby. It wasn't, because everybody already knew. By this time, my cousins had kids, and I had, my goddaughter that I got her at 2 months. Dariana about to be 18 now. And I had her from 2 months, I can say from the age of 2 months up until that girl was maybe 3 or 4, I had her. She was with me, like, every day, all day.
Okay.
So they already knew, like, she gonna be, her kids gonna be spoiled. She gonna take care of them kids, because she done took care of everybody. I've been taking care of kids since my mama and them, her and her homegirls and them was going to the club back in the day, and my mom be like, my daughter will watch your child. I think I'm like 11, 12 years old, and they looking at her like, she said, no, my child is, now my other one, my oldest daughter, I wouldn't recommend it, but she,
you talking about Kim?
yeah,
Oh,
she said the oldest daughter, she said my oldest daughter, she said, but she gonna watch your kids, take care of them, and baby, when they came back got their kids, them kids gonna come back every week.
Did you receive any backlash from the community when you got?
I mean, if they did, they said the shit behind my back, because bitch, they knew I would cuss they motherfucking ass the fuck out. And I think it was some like group thing that they had about studs being pregnant. And then I went in there, bitch, this is my motherfucking pussy. Why you hiding behind this motherfucking whatever it is? You can't talk on me, because first of all, whoever you is, you might don't even know nothing about me. So I didn't give a fuck if they did. I don't care. This is what I wanted. I pay every motherfucking year to go get my coochie clean, and whatever the fuck I want to do with it, I can do with it.
And half them studs probably don't even go to the gynecologist.
And then half of the motherfuckers, you probably hide behind a glass tent fucking and sucking niggas. So don't sit up here and talk about me, bitch. You just mad at me because I'm out with my shit and you hiding behind with your shit. You know what I'm saying? So
my nigga.
So I've never had any type of backlash from nobody for as like me being pregnant, me having, and like I say, if they did, they probably say shit under their breath, or probably talk amongst somebody else or whatever. But bitch, you ain't never came to me with this shit, because I would cuss your bitch ass the fuck out.
How many years apart are your boys?
They're, as of right now, they're 11 and 12.
Okay, so they're a year apart.
They like a couple of months. Yeah, I was after I had Sir Darren, maybe when he was like 1 and a half or something like that. I just kept looking at my baby and was like, I don't want my baby to be the only child, and there's no other kids around that's his age that he can play with. So that's when the decision of Dylan came about, my second one, and everybody was fine with it, so it was just like whatever.
You are vocal about being a parent of an autistic child.
Yeah, both of them have autism. Dylan, the youngest one, he's nonverbal autistic, and Sir Darren is too fucking verbal. But I think his is more so, he have characteristics of autism, but he's more so on the ADHD side. because he's very, well, both of them is very, very intelligent. I mean, when I say very intelligent, they are very intelligent. And I tell people just because my family, they used to come up because Dylan was nonverbal and they'll be hollering. Like, you can, like, bitch, he not deaf. He
Right.
can hear. He just don't stop. So I used to have to tell him, why are you hollering at him? He can understand what you're saying, and, you know, his ears are sensitive, so he closing his ears when you get loud. So I had to, it was a trial. It's still a trial. I'm still learning. I don't know everything about being a parent with kids with autism. Every day is something new, and it's hard. I have my days where I break down, I cry, I go sit in the closet and cry because it's hard. It's very hard. I mean, I have helped. Me and Tamika actually been separated with each other since 2018. But we still live together up until last year for, you know, the purpose of, you know, co-parenting with our kids. So, I mean, that's my motherfucking best friend. Even though we ain't together, that's my nigga. Like, she gonna always be my best friend. Regardless of who I decide to be with, she's gonna always be there because we do have kids together. My kids have her last name. They don't have my last name. But, it's hard. It is hard being a parent because it's like, it's every day it's a trial. Every day is something. It's something, and like they keep me on my toes.
What is one of the biggest challenges you faced?
With my kids being autistic?
Mm-hmm. Like, has there ever been a moment where you feel like really overwhelmed?
I feel overwhelmed every fucking day.
And
if you be around, like, one day you'll have to come and we could do a podcast at my house with them. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind.
Bro, I'm telling you, it's
just being in my house with 2 kids with autism, and I know it's other people that's out there that has kids with multiple kids with different disabilities, but I'm speaking on myself with me. Or whatever. And it's fucking hard. Every day, Dylan climbing on the motherfucking counters. He jumping off the back of the toilet seats. He got the refrigerator. I go use the bathroom, come back. Every fucking cabinet in the kitchen is open. The stove is open. The refrigerator is open. The deep freezer is
I've witnessed.
The deep freezer open, and you just walk in the kitchen and be like, what the fuck?
I told her the other day, I said,
and
I commend you.
And my oldest son, he's more so he watches out for his younger brother, because when Dylan was maybe I think he was maybe 5, he fell out of the window.
Damn.
And that's why I have anxiety now. Like, I didn't know if my baby was gonna live or die. So, and he heard, my oldest son, he heard me screaming like I was and running around the house trying to figure out what the fuck to do, because his whole hand right here was cut. You can see all the way down to the bone. Mm-hmm. He had a big gash right here. It's just hanging, this meat hanging. And I think when he fell, he tried to grab. And Tamika, I had just got out of work. I was working at Frito-Lay. I will never forget that. I was working at Frito-Lay, working 12 hours every day, 7 days a week. That's why I'm not there no more. But I had just fell asleep. And she come running in there and was like, Dylan fell out the window or something. You know when somebody wake you up out your sleep like that, you like, huh? I'm confused and shit. So I go in the room and she was like, he in the backyard. I'm like, well, how the fuck is he in the backyard and what is going on? So she was like, he fell out of the window broke. And I'm thinking the window is open, but the window, he broke through the glass in the back room. And I went trying to motherfucking get out the back door. For some reason, it seemed like it took forever for me to get out that back door of the house. And I'm supposed to be pushing the motherfucker, and I'm pulling the goddamn door to open the door. I opened up that door, y'all, my baby hit that corner, and he was just blood and you can see the blood just squirting out, and I lost it. So I grabbed him and, you know, tried to put pressure on every room, and it was like so many, and I'm like, I don't fucking have 2 hands, my baby about to die, I don't know what to do. And my son, he running around like what's going on, the whole living room floor covered with blood everywhere. So Tamika on the phone with the 911 operator, and they was like, well, if he's crying, he okay. And he crying like, ooh, like, bitch ass nigga, you just cut the fuck up. like it was no, and I think when he seen me as hysterical as I was, that what made him nervous. And I was trying to calm myself down for him, but it was just so much blood, and I'm thinking my baby finna die and shit, and he was just losing blood. So she was like, the operator was like, well, if he's crying, he's fine or whatever. It's, you know, it's okay or whatever. But if he started throwing up, oh, they just said that he started throwing up, I lost it. I damn near fainted on the floor. Because she was like, well, if he started throwing up, that's when it's, you know. So he started throwing up when she was saying, as she said that. And I was like, he throwing up, so what's about to happen? Is he about to die? And Tamika was like, just calm down. I said, bitch, I can't calm down. This is my child, you know. So then they came and, you know, took him to the hospital, and I'm just in here fucking nervous, Rick. Hair all over my head. I ain't give a fuck. I ain't got no bra on. I just got off work and shit. Motherfucker looking crazy. I've been crying, eyes swollen and shit. And then Sir Darren and Tamika in there, and then Sir Darren, he was probably like maybe 6, and he was like, they're gonna think I did. I said, get his motherfucking ass up out of here before these people call CPS on me. They're gonna think I did it. And I'm like, why? Like, dude. So I had told her, you know, just take him to the house and I'm good. So then when they had came, they was like, a plastic surgeon got to come in because all his tendons in his hand, they had to reattach them and all this shit. And they was like, he may not be able to use his hand. And girl, I just lost my mind. So that's why I have real bad anxiety now. Like even going to the club, I be like, my anxiety be at all. I can't stay in the club a long time now. But yeah, there's no downtime. I have no, the only downtime is when they fucking sleep. That's the only downtime I have. And it's like, it's hard during the summertime because they're not in school and I have work overnight. So when I get off of work, and this is like when me and Tamika was staying together, cause she worked during the day. So it's like, I have to get off of work and still stay up. So it's like I'm working a double shift, basically. And these ain't the type of kids that you can take a nap. You take a nap on their ass if you fucking want to. you go to sleep on Dylan. I'm not even gonna say Sir Darren. You go to sleep on Dylan if you want to. You probably wake up. You probably got ketchup, mustard, all kinds of shit on your floor. Your washing powder. You can't. It's like a split second, and it was like, or he can try to. He's an eloper. He likes to get out the house, cause in his mind he want to go to the pool. So it's like I have all kinds of shit on my door, so if he do get out the door, I can hear him instead of just having a ring camera or locking the door, having that additional latch on the door. I have to put a fucking chimer on that motherfucker buzzer so I can hear that when he's going out the door or something. And he watches, like now he get the fucking key and stick it in the thing and pop the lock to open the door. But you know, I have that extra protection, so when he do open it, the alarm go off when he open it. So I know, like, okay, I'm the only one grown person here, and so Darren ain't even go out there. That's Dylan motherfucking ass. And as soon as I go, he's standing outside. Get your ass back in this goddamn house. But his brother, he knows, so he ain't gonna just let him walk out the door. He'll go and snatch his ass. I posted a video. Matter of fact, I posted a video on TikTok when I said, when you try to make your grand escape and your brother ain't having that shit, and so there's somebody, get your butt back in here. So he was trying to go out the door and he snatched him back in and locked the door. So he's a very big help. And when that situation happened, I was just talking to Tamika about that yesterday when Dylan fell out of the window. I said, "Oh girl, don't bring up 1030 Manning in no backyard, because that just remind me of Dylan." And then Sir Darren, and you don't know how traumatizing it is. He probably needs to talk to somebody because he's traumatized. He's like, yeah, because that was so traumatizing to me. And you like, you meant that, you know, because you all, anytime Dylan go out the door, you be like, oh, you trying to go meet Jesus, ain't you? So he know that, like, he not supposed to be out the door. He not, like, if he in the house standing on shit, Sir Darren to be in his own world. So I'm not expecting him to do everything and know everything, because he got stuff going on in his mind that he's trying to control or whatever, and he can't control what's going on in his mind because he's sitting up here talking like 40 going fucking north to himself, and he trying to control his shit and then trying to watch Dylan or whatever. But I still, you know, make it knowledgeable to him, like, Sir Darren, Dylan, some things that he do, he can hurt himself. So if I'm not in here, you got to kind of help me to guide him in the right way of not standing on stuff. You know, this nigga be walking all over the counters and shit, and standing on the couches and jumping off and climbing up the girl. It's just be a lot.
What are some of the most meaningful lessons your kids have taught you?
Patience. That's the patience. Because if you don't have patience dealing with any kid with disability, you will fucking lose your mind. And they taught me how to kind of get inside of their world and get inside of what they got going on. And like with Sir Darren, sometimes he be doing all the goddamn talking. I be like, I try not to tell him to shut up because sometimes he can't control it. So I tell him, take your ass in your motherfucking room and do all that motherfucking talking. Shit, I'm not stopping you from doing it. Go in the room. You disturbing other people's peace when you do that. And then it's still, when I say that, I kind of watch what I say, because some words to a child can be hurtful. You know what I'm saying? So I still try to, when I say you breaking up other people's peace, that may be sticking in his mind like he a problem and he don't need to be here or something like that. So I just tell him, so Darren, it's okay for you to talk. Just go in your room and do it. And you know, and because he has that, it's called echo something, where he's repeating himself all day. Like he walking around the house talking to himself all day long. And I'm like, he really can't help it for him to sit there. I have videos on my phone because I have a camera in the living room, and him just walking around the living room just going on and on and on. And I just be sitting in my room like, this dude right here is not gonna stop. And sometimes I don't bother him, but sometimes it's stressful, because I'm like, dude, go in your room and do it. You have both of y'all have your own room. Why the hell? And because of the way I raised them, they even as babies, they never slept in their beds. They never slept in no cribs, because I was that parent that was scared my child gonna die. And both of my kids slept in the bed with me, and they are totally fine. But now it's like they have to be up under one of us. They can't. Now my oldest son, which is amazing that he's 13, he's about to be a teenager. Now he don't mind sleeping in his own room now, you know. But I did have to take measurements for him to do that, which is like I don't know if y'all know about like cubby beds or whatever. It's like a whole tent over the whole bed. So I got him there, and he loved it. He'll zip that motherfucker up, and then I come in there because it get hot in there. So I have to unzip it to let some air come through it. And he be like, well, what if a robber come in here? And I said, well, if a robber come in here, nigga, your ass gonna be stuck in this motherfucker and can't get out. If a robber come in here, they know how to unzip it. He's like, so that's a protection, an extra measure of protection that he feels for him, and he's fine with it. So now he's sleeping in his room. He's like, y'all like, you ain't gonna sleep with me tonight? No, Mom, I'm about to be a teenager. I can sleep by myself. Well, bye. But the youngest one, he ain't trying to hear it. His mind frame is still maybe of a 5, maybe 6-year-old child. But he know all his colors, he know all his numbers, he know all his letters. He just nonverbal, but his mind frame still is, he don't know a lot of things, you know. Like when you asking him something, it ain't like but if you tell him like, Dylan, go get me such and such, and he'll maybe go do it. He do shit on his time. And they, like when I had went to get him evaluated for like ADHD, psychiatrist. I took him to a psychiatrist. They was like, well, do he answer to his name? I said, well, I think he has selective hearing. He hear what the fuck he want to hear. Because I can say, Dylan, come get these chips, and his ass running to get the motherfucking chips. But if he just walking around the house, and I be like, Dylan, he looking, he ain't paying me no motherfucking attention. So he have a selective hearing. But he's very intelligent, but he's still, at the end of the day, he's a mama's baby. He ain't trying to hear nothing nobody talking about.
One piece of advice that you would give, like a new parent that just found out that their child might have autism?
You have to be an advocate for your child. And when I say you have to be an advocate, when your child first of all, you gonna know the signs and the symptoms. Don't let the doctors tell you, oh, he just boys learn a little slower than girls. And if your child 1 years old and they not saying shit or responding to a lot of things, or stuff like that they supposed to be doing, that a normal 1-year-old is doing, you have to be an advocate for your child, and don't let the doctor sit up there and tell you, oh, well, mom, he's probably just a little delayed, you know, whatever. No, you know, I want to get my child with childhood intervention. I want them to evaluate my child and make sure that's what it is, because they came and evaluated Dylan at the age of 2, and when they evaluated him, and I already knew, because I did MHMR work for 8 years. So I was already kind of knowledgeable about something ain't right with my child. Now one of their ass, something is wrong. Well, with Sir Darian, I kind of had a feeling because he used to bam his head on the floor, and I was like, that ain't normal, you know. And he used to hit his hand with his head and stuff like that. But I really didn't know until he actually got to school, and they said, well, maybe you want to try to get him evaluated for autism. I didn't know what that was at that time with him. So I was like, okay, you know. So yeah, he was autistic. So we started doing our research and you know, researching different things or whatever. So we did at one point try medication, and I know, and when that week that he was on it, he was not himself. He was aggressive. He was like being handsy, hitting, and I immediately, because I was already against it. I don't even take medication myself, but I was already against it. But I immediately snatched him off of that shit, and now they like, oh, you want to do, you know, medication? No, I find some other herbal supplements or something else that, you know, we doing our little things that that we need to do for us. Like, I don't want to put him on nothing that he has to be dependent on for the rest of his life, and it can cause other problems with him. So that's why we came to the decision of not, you know, doing medication. Like I say, even though me and Tamika we don't live together, we still come together as parents and make a decision on what's best for the both of them. And we made the decision when I think Sir Darren was maybe 5 and Dylan was maybe 3 or 2 to not get them vaccinated.
They never took any type of medication?
No. Like I said, we tried Sir Darren on medication for his ADHD. Okay. And I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. It was like he was zombified, and he thought that there was something that would make him better. So, and there's a story behind it why I decided not to let him take it no more, because one day he took too many, and I went in there to give him his medication. I had to start letting him be independent and take his own, you know, go in there, get one, you know, swallow it or whatever. And he was good with that. But one day he had ended up taking too many. And I asked him why would he do that, and he said he just wanted to be normal. So I had to take my baby to the hospital. They had to keep us overnight because his blood pressure was so low. And I thought they was going to have to pump his stomach. And I don't know how many he took, because I forgot how many was in the pack that was left over. So he took way too many than he was supposed to take. And he said that for him to say that, he knew what he was doing, and he thought if he take more, it'll make him. And I said, no, I'm done with it. So I took him off of that. And like I said, when they was at the age of maybe 4 or 5, when they was younger, they stayed sick, like runny nose, just sickly. So we did research about vaccinations, and you know, vaccination is one cause of autism. You know, so we decided to, you know, stop the vaccinations when they was like maybe 4, or I think Sir Darren maybe 4, and I think Dylan was maybe 2. So we never got them vaccinated again. And my kids, after, like, when I stopped getting them vaccinated, I hardly ever take them to the doctor now. When probably like last year or the year before last, Dylan whole class had hand, foot, and mouth disease, and he did not get it. He was the only child that didn't catch that. So that let me know with those vaccinations, it's really not helping you. It's weakening your immune system. You know what I'm saying? So and I tell all parents out there, even with kids that don't have no disabilities, get your kids on good vitamins, supplements, or something else other than them being vaccinated. Because how is my non-vaccinated child a threat to your vaccinated child? shit, if anything, your vaccinated child would be a threat to my non-vaccinated child, because they don't have, if that was the case, because they don't have what your child have in their system to supposedly protect them from whatever diseases that they gonna get. But like I said, that's how I knew then, when Dylan whole class had caught hand, foot, and mouth, the whole class, and he didn't get it. He was the only one that didn't get it. He was the only one in the class. Everybody else had got sent home.
Damn.
But yeah, it's a trial. I'm still, like I say, every day I'm learning something new with the both of them, and it's a journey that we all four gonna be on. And hey, I'm here for the ride, and I'm just a passenger. They the drivers.
For sure. Well, we definitely appreciate you for pulling up, telling us those good ass stories from back in the day. You know what I'm saying? For sure. I think everybody gonna be excited to hear them. And then also, it was important for you to show your vulnerability and be open and just share your experience with having kids, you know what I'm saying, that are autistic. I mean, I feel like you gave some good insight. Definitely taught me some stuff that I didn't know. So I appreciate you for sure.
You're welcome. And once again, like I say, anybody with kids with autism, you have to be their voice. Regardless if they can talk or not, you have to be the voice for your kids. You have to be an advocate for your kids. You have to go in those art meetings, and if they saying something, just don't be like no yes person, like okay. Now some things when I go in there and I'm agreeing with it, and I'm like, okay, that's fine, that plan is gonna work. But if you know it's something that you don't agree with, you don't have to say it's okay. You can say, well, maybe, because when I go in there, when I say, well, maybe with Sir Darren, you know, in the classroom, if he's being disruptive, maybe you should write into his thing for him to help the teacher out a little more. Go send him out to run some copies for somebody or something. Give him something other to do than let him sit in the classroom all freaking day and expect for him to be on his best behavior. Hell, a regular kid can't even fucking sit in the classroom all day, let alone a child with severely and highly ADHD and autism. So I mean, that's autistic. So you, like I tell all parents, you have to be an advocate for your child. You can't let these people just tell you that this is what it is, and oh, we can't do that, or we can't do this. Okay, well, if you can't accommodate my kid in your school, you know what you have to do? You have to pay for my child to go to a private school, since you say, and that is a thing. If a school can't accommodate your child, they have to pay for your child to go to a private school. But when after I get on their ass, they get it right. So
for sure, man, that was a good ass gym, man.
Shout out to Sessions 365 TV. You the best.